Most boat buyers spend months, sometimes years, finding the right vessel. They negotiate the price, they get excited, and then, on the day of the marine survey, they walk away having learned almost nothing, because nobody told them what to look for, what to ask, or what the findings actually mean. That mistake costs people tens of thousands of dollars, and it's completely avoidable. If we haven't met yet, my name is Marilyn Bosser, and as a licensed yacht broker and boat owner, I have gained lots of valuable insights about boat surveys over the past 15 years. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the entire marine survey process: what happens, who pays for what, how to read the report, and how to use it to negotiate. By the time this is over, you'll know exactly how to make the most of one of the most important days in the entire boat buying process. Section 1. What a marine survey actually is. Here's the comparison people reach for. A marine survey is like a home inspection, and that's not wrong, but it undersells the complexity by a lot. A home has a foundation, walls, electrical, plumbing, and a roof. A boat has all of that, plus engines, a hull that lives underwater, standing rigging, running rigging, and dozens of interdependent systems that have to perform together out on the open water. When something fails at home, you call a contractor. When something fails offshore, you call the Coast Guard. The pre-purchase survey, which is what we're focused on today, is a thorough, expert assessment of a vessel's condition at a specific point in time. There are other types. An insurance survey focuses on safety and liability risk. A valuation survey establishes fair market value for a lender. But the pre-purchase survey covers everything in depth: systems, structure, and performance. It is the most comprehensive and only one that truly protects you as a buyer. One thing that trips people up: the pre-purchase survey must be ordered by the party under contract to be valid for your lender and your insurance carrier. A prior survey, even a recent one, does not count for your transaction. You need your own. But that's not even the most important detail about how surveys work. That comes down to who you hire, and many buyers get this wrong. Section 2. Who does the survey? Not all surveyors are equal. When you're evaluating a 6- or 7-figure purchase, credentials matter. In the United States, the two primary professional organizations are SAMS, the Society of Accredited Marine Surveyors, and NAMS, the National Association of Marine Surveyors. Both have rigorous qualification standards. Within SAMS, the AMS designation, Accredited Marine Surveyor, reflects a higher level of experience. These are the credentials to look for. Beyond credentials, look for specialized expertise: sail versus power, fiberglass versus aluminum, offshore passage maker versus coastal cruiser. These are different animals. Your surveyor should have direct experience with the type of boat that you are buying. Here is something most buyers skip. Interview your surveyor before you hire them. A 50-minute phone call will tell you everything. You're listening for balance. A surveyor who is overly alarming will turn a manageable punch list into a crisis. One who is overly permissive will miss things that matter, and neither one serves you. Also confirm they carry liability insurance and E&O coverage. That's errors and omissions. A professional surveyor carries both without exceptions. Section 3. The 3-part assessment. Here's how survey day actually works. A pre-purchase survey isn't one thing. It's 3 distinct phases, and understanding each one is essential. Part 1. The vessel inspection. The surveyor typically starts in the engine room, especially when there's a haul out scheduled, because they want to assess the engines while everything is cold. From there, they work systematically through the entire vessel, stern to bow, interior and exterior. Everything gets checked: electrical systems, plumbing and drainage, safety equipment, electronics and navigation, but also air conditioning, refrigeration, water pumps, and structural condition. Looking for signs of leaks, rot, or delamination, and cosmetic condition as a window into how the boat has been maintained. One thing to understand: surveyors don't perform what's called destructive testing. They won't unscrew structural panels or take components apart. What they can access, they will inspect thoroughly. Their standards come primarily from the ABYC, that's the American Boat and Yacht Council. which publishes the technical benchmarks for recreational vessels. U.S. Coast Guard regulations also apply. A qualified surveyor stays current on both. As the buyer, you should be on the boat for this entire process, and your yacht broker, if you have one, should 100% come along. Survey Day is your single best opportunity to learn everything about this vessel before it becomes yours. Walk alongside the surveyor, ask questions, and listen. Part 2, the haul out. The haul out is non-negotiable. A significant portion of what determines a boat's value and its seaworthiness is underwater. You cannot access it any other way. Out of the water, the surveyor inspects the hull for cracks, delamination, and osmotic blistering. The keel for movement or structural damage, propellers, shafts, and struts. Any signs the boat has ever gone aground. Surveyors typically tap the hull with a rubber mallet, listening for changes in tone that indicate soft spots. On metal hulls, ultrasound technology is used instead. Now, here is who pays for what, because this confuses people. Typically, the buyer pays for the surveyor's fee and the haul out. The seller covers the qualified captain who operates the vessel that day, plus fuel. Haul out costs vary significantly by location and boat size. In some areas, there may only be one yard capable of hauling a large catamaran, and that yard prices accordingly. Factor this into your budget early. Part 3, the trial run. After the haul out, the boat goes back in the water, and you go out on it. We deliberately avoid the term sea trial because the trial run doesn't always take place on open sea. What matters is that the boat performs under real conditions. The surveyor is assessing performance. Do the engines reach their rated RPMs? Are there alarms? Unusual vibration? How does the vessel handle under load? On sailboats, the sails get raised and inspected. Standing rigging gets assessed. And here's something worth knowing. Standing rigging has a set lifespan, typically 10 to 15 years depending on use and location. Replacement is a significant expense, and a qualified surveyor will flag it. For vessels with larger or more complex engines, you'll often bring in a separate engine surveyor alongside your marine surveyor. These are specialists, and many will take oil samples sent to a lab for analysis. Think of it like a blood test for the engine. A boat can perform perfectly on the water and still have internal wear that only the sample reveals. Quick pause here. If you are in the process of buying a boat right now and want to talk through the survey process with someone who's done this too many times to count, Current Yachts offers consultations and we'd love to hear from you. The link is in the description. Now let's talk about what happens after the survey, because this is where most buyers either win or leave money on the table. Section 4, reading the survey report. Within 1 to 3 days after survey day, you'll receive the surveyor's report. This becomes your official record of the vessel's condition, used for insurance, financing, and negotiation. A well-structured report has 2 critical sections. The first is the inventory. Serial numbers, engine model numbers, documentation status, tankage capacity, and a full accounting of everything that was on the boat that day. This matters at closing. If there's a discrepancy, equipment that was present during the survey and missing at delivery, this is your reference document. The second section is the recommendations, and this is the heart of the report. Everything the surveyor observed gets listed and prioritized. Low priority? Address at your leisure, not a seaworthiness concern. High priority? Should be addressed without delay. Highest priority? The boat does not leave the dock until this is fixed. And here is where buyers make a critical mistake. They see a long list and panic. A long list of findings is not automatically a red flag. On a used boat, there will always be findings. The question is whether those items are significant, what they cost to repair, and whether the math still works at the price you negotiated. Your broker's role here is to help you interpret the findings with perspective, not react to page count. Some of the best deals happen after surveys, not before. One more thing. Your insurance company will review this report and may issue a survey compliance letter. It's a list of items they require addressed before they bind coverage. The way findings are written matters. A good surveyor communicates clearly. Here is the issue, here is the recommended remedy, here is the priority level. Section 5, what happens next? Once you have the report, you have two paths. If the findings reveal something significant and unexpected, serious structural damage, major mechanical issues, a compromised hull, walking away is a legitimate outcome. The survey exists precisely to protect you from that scenario. Use it. If the findings are manageable, you negotiate. Common outcomes: a price reduction based on estimated repair costs, a survey allowance, a credit applied at closing, or the seller agrees to address specific items before you close. One word of caution. Approach this conversation reasonably. The seller provided a disclosure when you made your offer. Some items may already be reflected in the agreed price. Nitpicking every minor line item on a fairly priced used boat rarely ends well, and it can kill deals that should have closed. Finally, remember this. A survey is a snapshot in time. It reflects the condition of the vessel on that specific day. Systems that function perfectly on survey day can fail the following week. That is not a failure of the survey, it is the nature of boats. What the survey gives you is the most complete picture available on that day, from a qualified professional under your control, and that is invaluable. Section 6, is a survey always worth it? Always, no exceptions. Even a boat that's being given away can have structural damage so severe that you'd spend twice the boat's value making it seaworthy. You'd be surprised how often this happens. And here is something that surprises most buyers. New boats should be surveyed too. Production boats coming off the line get surveyed before delivery, and surveyors almost always find things to be addressed. You'll want the builder to address these warranty items before you ever leave the dock. A survey is your investment protection. The cost is a rounding error compared to what it protects you from. To recap, here is what we covered. A pre-purchase survey includes a full vessel inspection, a haul out, and a trial run. The buyer pays for the surveyor and the haul out. The seller covers the captain. Look for a surveyor with SAM's or NAM's credentials and interview them before you hire. Expect to pay roughly $20 to $30 per foot for a pre-purchase survey plus haul-out cost. Be sure to attend the survey and review the findings in order of priority. Use the report to negotiate intelligently, not reactively. A survey is a snapshot, not a guarantee, but it is always worth doing. If this video was useful, subscribe to Current Yachts. We publish videos like this every week, covering everything from tax strategy to financing to the negotiation process after a survey, which is what you should look for next. Because that's where a lot of deals are either saved or lost, and we want to make sure you're prepared. Questions? Drop them in the comments. We will answer every one of them. Until then, I will see you on the water. Fair winds!